Hey guys, Well Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the DC Collectibles. This is the animated action figures. It's Batman Beyond. We have Batman, Old Man Bruce Wayne, and of course Ace, their dog. Looks pretty cool. Take a look at the back. Nothing. Got a nice Batman Beyond right there. The bottom is blank. The top says Batman Beyond. And let's open them up. Alright, so here they are out of the box, and they all have a different amount of accessories as well, so we'll take a look at them right now. First off, with Bruce Wayne, he does come with a little cane right here, which is pretty cool. He does have one pair of hands. One's open with a little grip to hold his cane, and the other one's a closed fist. On the side here, he does have two other pairs of hands. Nothing special about them. They're just pretty much open, gestured hands. Nothing, no fists or anything like that. So you can play around with that if you want to, but like I said, nothing too crazy. Now next up for Batman, he does have a couple of different hands. He has 4 hands in total, one on him right now. All of them are closed fists. The other 3 right here, we'll go down the line. This one right here is an open closed fist to hold objects, obviously for his batarang. It fits him pretty good right there. Let's take a look at that up close. Alright, so here it is up close. Looks pretty nice, not bad, good fit. Even the batarang itself looks pretty nice too. You can kind of see that it has a little bit of a sparkle, not a sparkle, but a nice finish to it, almost like a matte finish. So it looks pretty nice and pretty good quality as well. Alright, now looking at the other 2 pairs of hands, they are basically open gestured hands right there, as you can see. So this is one of them right here. You can't really hold anything, to be honest, but it's not that bad. They're pretty similar, but you can see the index finger is a little bit more bent on one of them. The other one is more free-handed, so you have those options if you want it. Now, aside from that, he also does come with wings right here, which are pretty cool. In the packaging, though, they're not positioned the right way. You actually had to fold it in a certain way, because when I got it out, I think they were like this. And I was like, wait a minute, is it backwards? But you have to just twist it and turn it so it's like that, which is pretty nice. Good material, pretty good, decent plastic. Doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. Let's take Batman out. And there's a little peg hole in the back there where you plug it in. And there you go. Now he has his wings when he flies around, which is pretty cool. Let's try to get his arms out. It's a pretty good fit, but it might turn a little bit. You just have to be careful with it. There you go. And these figures are... I know these figures don't have the best quality sometimes. That they feel a little bit tight, and you might break it, but there you go. Now, last but not least, you do have Ace right here, which is pretty decent, not bad. He does have some articulation in him, as you can see. All the legs do pretty much move, but there's no elbow joint, knee joint, whatever you want to call that. He has a little tail right here, pretty small. The neck moves as well, which is pretty good too. A little ball joint right there. And overall, pretty decent job. Not bad. Nice to have a nice dog in your collection too. And of course, each of them have their own bases, of course. One says Bruce Wayne, the other one says Batman. Alright, first up, let's take a look at Bruce Wayne. Old Man Wayne, he is angry, hates the world, he's grumpy. He looks awesome, in my opinion. Straight out of the cartoon. I love how he looks. This is actually the first time I'm buying this line of figures in a long time, ever since probably the first wave. I have to admit, the quality got really good. This figure actually has some heft to him. You can feel it in the core. He's a pretty decent weighted figure, you know, even for a 6-inch one, so that's pretty nice. It looks like the quality is getting a little better. But the frame looks nice too. He's a huge frame body. He has a little bit of a hunch because he's old. You can feel the shoulders back here, his his traps and everything. It feels like a really solid figure underneath. However, on top though, on the jacket, this is a really soft rubber, which is pretty nice. I don't think he has an ab joint underneath there, but if he did, it would definitely go right through it, which is pretty good. This is definitely a nice quality right here. Everything else is pretty much plastic. But I want to take a look at his head sculpt because, man, he looks really grumpy and exactly like how he looks like in the cartoon. Take a look at that. I love it. Looks pretty nice right there. Definitely has good hair. Nice face sculpt. Can't complain at all. Alright, now quickly going to articulation. He has a ball jointed head, which is pretty decent. Goes all the way up like that. Goes down just a little bit, almost straight pretty much. Left and right and pivots, but it's really good rotation and really smooth, so you definitely like that. There's no ab joint I don't think, but on the shoulders they do rotate. They go up about that far, which is pretty good. It's a nice sized, big swivel joint right there as well, so it doesn't feel like it's going to break. It goes down that much. Goes up and down, so it's pretty decent. Now, like I said before, this is like a really soft plastic, so it's not going to hinder the articulation at all. Now going to the elbow right here, he has an elbow joint. It doesn't go exactly 90-degree angles right there, which is kind of a shame, but it does rotate left and right instead of a bicep right there, so you have that. And at the wrist, he has a hinge, and it swivels as well left and right, so you have nice rotation there. Now going down to his waist, he has a waist joint, a waist swivel, which is pretty good and smooth, which is nice. He has T-jointed hips. They go about that far, not that high to be honest. It could be a little bit better, but he's not going to move around that much anyway. They go far back just a little bit. Nothing special there. He does a nice decent split though, because Bruce Wayne at his age will be doing splits. No thigh swivel, one joint at the knee right here, but it's pretty clean, not bad. At the ankle, he does have a pivot, not a pivot, he has a swivel at the ankle. It looks like he might have a hinge, but I don't want to force it, so it's pretty much non-existent. But for Bruce Wayne anyway, at this age, for this character, you're not going to do that much with him anyway. You're pretty much just going to pose him with his cane, like so, and he'll just watch and observe. Alright, now taking a look at Batman, he looks pretty good. I have to say, he's a pretty small figure as well, and a lot smaller than the Bruce Wayne one, so he feels a little bit more fragile. I have to say that, to be honest, but you have to be a little careful with him. But we'll take a look at that later. But let's take a look at his sculpting. Sculpting-wise, he looks pretty good. No real complaints here. The bat symbol on him looks very clean. I like how that looks. I have no paint app problems or anything with mine, so I'm pretty happy with that. Going down right here, here is his belt. Looks pretty clean as well. No complaints there. And that's pretty much it for anything else. You know, everything else is all black. He has some spikes on the side here, which are pretty nice quality as well. Pretty pointy, to be honest. Not bad. And on top as well, his spikes, or his ears, the bat ears, are pretty pointy too. Now going to articulation, like I said before, he feels a little bit more fragile compared to the Bruce Wayne one. I think because everything is a little bit smaller and he'll be a little more delicate. But for a head joint, he has a bulge in the head. It goes up that much, it goes down just a little bit, which is pretty good. And left and right, and also pivots as well, so you have a lot of rotation right there. For the shoulders on hinge joints that rotate, they go up, almost on an angle because of the chest look right here. So you have to just maneuver it around. It goes up about that much, almost all the way, which is pretty good. Goes down. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, but at the elbow right here, he does have a hinge that goes about almost 90-degree angles, which is pretty good. Not bad, pretty decent, and also swivels left and right in place of the bicep. Now for the wrist joint, he has a normal hinge right there, which is pretty decent, and also swivels left and right. Now going to the body, he has no ab joint right there, but at the waist he does have a swivel right here. Going down to the hips, he has T-jointed hips. They go about that far up, really horrible. That's not cool at all, really, man. Pretty bad. They go out though. Nice split if you want to do that. There's no thigh swivel. He does have one joint at the knee. It does not rotate at all as well. And at the ankle, he does have a hinge. That's pretty much it. No swivel. And I have to admit, to be honest, the whole lower body of mine, he feels so fragile that I almost don't like it. You know, I feel like it's gonna snap eventually one day. And I was just talking about how I thought the quality of these figures got a lot better. Maybe for the bigger ones, but these small ones, I never had a small one. I never had the Nightwing or a Batgirl or even like the Robin. So I don't know how the smaller figures really fare. But to be honest, he looks really cool, but he feels really fragile, which is a tragedy. You know, I do wish it was a little bit better. Everything feels like it's gonna snap if you apply too much pressure. It could just be me, but I definitely feel it in these figures. Alright, so a quick size comparison right here. We have Batman and Bruce Wayne with my Mezco Batman that I switched the head out. Kind of an animated head, so kind of fits in together a little bit, but you can see the size difference right there. Now for another size comparison, here is my custom Batman and also Damian right there. And I have to say, you know, I don't mind the size right here, but, you know, looking at this Batman Beyond figure right here, he is coming up a little bit smaller than I would like him to be. I mean, this is a bigger Damian than normal, but still, you know, he shouldn't be this small, in my opinion. And for another size comparison, here is one of those SH Figure Arts blank figures that I was going to use for a Batman Beyond. And I have to admit, you know, I'm pretty disappointed with this Batman Beyond figure. That I might just take the head off this one and put it on this body, you know, get the symbol on him, make a belt, and there you go. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility. This is definitely a height I would rather have, in my opinion. You know, even standing him next to the small Damien, you know, the bigger Damien figure is a little bit better at least. But yeah, so that's definitely a possibility which I might be doing in the future. Alright guys, so what do you guys think about these figures? I have to admit, when I was buying this set, I really wanted the Batman more than the Bruce Wayne. Now coming out of it, I have to admit that the Bruce Wayne figure is a lot better than the Batman one. You know, the Batman one isn't bad. It's not horrible. It's just I was a little bit surprised about the quality in the lower legs, on, you know, going down. It feels really weak and, you know, almost fragile feeling. Everything else is pretty good. It's not bad. It's not horrible. But, you know, you do have a little sense of disappointment on this figure. But, you know, it still looks pretty cool. You know, if you want to keep him the way he is, you can. I love the accessories, of course, the wings, the Batarang. And overall, he still captures exactly how he looks like in the cartoon, so you can't go wrong there. But Bruce Wayne, of course, might be the MVP of the set. And he looks really cool. Alright guys, so that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and it was helpful. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace! A little less than 90-degree angles.